What up? This is Tony Harvin. Welcome to my YouTube channel. We were supposed to have a scheduled interview with another YouTuber by the name of John Phoenix. It got rescheduled for tomorrow. So we here to do something a little special. I'm letting the public ask certain questions. I think I did something like this before on my other YouTube channel and whatnot, but not trying to be on here too long and what have you. You know what I mean? Y'all know my disclaimer. I'm not a pastor preacher. I don't hold any type of office in the church, so please do not lay claims of those titles on me. I just now made the thumbnail, everything, and what have you. Just now scheduled it. You know what I mean? So we can have conversations about this, being that it has been rescheduled and whatnot, things like that. So we got a little bit more time. We got a little bit more time tonight, about an hour and 15 minutes. We'll see what we can do and whatnot to talk to the people and what have you and things like that. So shout out to John Phoenix YouTube channel, another YouTuber who puts out Gino and whatnot. You know what I mean? So remember, 4:30 tomorrow. That's the interview with Mr. Phoenix. Guess he was having some type of issues with StreamYard, and you know what I mean? It's all good, you know. What's up to Jonah? Shout out to you, number 33. Prodigal Son, Delroy, and everybody else tuning in. I see Captain Tazario. He's having a biblical discussion with somebody from Islam and whatnot right now on YouTube and what have you. You know what I mean? So, if y'all got any type of questions y'all want to ask, I don't think I've done this type of video in a while. You understand? So, you got any type of questions. Now, depending on the question, because I know how G Swole is, depending on the question, I answer. You understand? All right, what's up to Morgan? Shout out to you. What's up to Georgina Fleming? Shout out to you. What's up to Tanya Renee? What's up to Chris Sanchez? Shelly Moss, Janet Allen. Shout out to you. It's been a little while. At Janet Allen. What's up to the great Morgan? I think I said your name. Delroy Clark, Prodigal Son. Tanya Renee. All right. Before you started boxing in the past, what inspired you? What inspired me to box? Good question. Now, as a kid in Jersey City, there was this spot where as though you could buy like crab legs with the Old Bay seasoning on it. It was like a big bag of crab legs with Old Bay seasoning. I remember my mother taking me there. My cousin lived around the corner from that place. And in the back was a boxing gym. So the coach name was Jimmy the Cat Dupree. And his wife, she would sell the crab legs for $1, a big bag. So the summertime come, we did. You understand? So one day, I lived about 10 blocks from it. I went there by myself. One of my friends gave me some money, and kind of dared me to go by myself. And what was it? Nothing. I think I was might have been about, 8 or 9. Walking about 10 blocks. Go get it. I looked in. It's pretty interesting. You understand? Years passed. Haven't had a chance to get in there and whatnot. And then, I decided to go train. Great discipline, keeps you focused, in shape, away from trouble. And I was thankful to be in there and away from negative people. You understand? Who want to do mischief and stuff like that. As far as like fighters, of course, a lot of us watch Mike Tyson, Ali, Tommy Hearns, Hagler, Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard. You know what I mean? Fighters like that, the Mayweathers, the Evander Holyfields and whatnot. Hopefully that helped you out. All right? What's up, the great Georgina Fleming says, have you ever have someone ever booked an appointment with you and did a no-show or chat? Have you experienced a no-show? Please share. You talking about on here? You talking about YouTube, or what are you talking about? Personal training? At one point I was cutting hair. Let me know. Lauren says, greetings everyone. Trinidad here. Greetings, brother. Do I watch Elder Robinson, Jamaica's service? I've watched Gary Robinson preach. I watched him in debates and stuff like that. Yeah. You know, I try to watch, other ministers, Minister Wynn, Minister Lodge, Abraham Aviles, Dan Thompson. Somebody just threw me off by calling me, and what have you. So I lost my train of thought. But I try to watch, other TLG ministers and whatnot for sure. All right, Shelly Moss says, have you noticed that more kids don't want to move out of their parents' house and don't want to pay any bills? Yes. I have family members like that. Grown people. 40 something years old. Grown people. Don't want to do nothing. You understand? And here I am, getting up every morning and working and all this other stuff. While they got a free ride in a bedroom, rent free. Don't have to go shopping or nothing. How you think I feel? Huh? How you think I feel? I used to have to go walk to work 1 hour back. And then go to the boxing gym. And then go take care of my kids. And not to take care of the kids, we got to go run on the track. You understand? So listen, I'm thankful that it teaches me discipline. So when I see these lazy family members and whatnot, I said, you know what? It's good to learn the responsibilities of being on your own. You understand? It's good to learn about when you falling on hard times, how to maneuver. You understand that all this is going to help out when you purchase your house. You understand? They ain't going to have the discipline. They ain't going to have the knowledge. Although you try to teach them and show them the way, it's not. I'm not one of those family members where as though you could say, hey, cuz, can I come over and stay a couple of days? No. If you're lazy, no. You understand? But if your house burnt down or something like that, I'll give you a couple of months to get it back on track. And you better be working. Or you better be cleaning up my place every day. And having breakfast, lunch, and dinner ready. You ain't gonna be sitting around my place doing nothing. That's a no-no. You know what I mean? I don't allow that. I'm sorry. No, I don't. You allow a person to stay over a couple of days, they're there for a couple of months. No way. You can't sit around my place doing nothing. Especially if you're 18 or older. You understand? I don't want to hear about, oh, you're depressed, you're stressed. I don't care about none of that. You understand? Why? Because the electricity don't care about that. You understand? The expenses of children don't care about that. I know people go through what they go through, but the gas man don't care about that. Car notes don't care about how a person is feeling. They don't care about that. You understand? The bank don't care about if you're going through something in life. That mortgage got to get paid. You understand? You could lose a loved one back and forth. You understand? They don't care. You go to the bank when you got the loan for your house. Listen, my mother passed away. I fall on hard times. I'm feeling down. I can't work. They said, listen, I'm sorry. I know all that is that, but this here's a business. And if you ain't got the money, you got to kick you out and put you on foreclosure or something like that. Simple as that. Simple. I'm the same way. You know what I mean? Because some people will mistake your kindness for your weakness. You understand? Some people do need some, bereavement and stuff like that, a couple of days. But after that, listen, you ain't gonna be sitting up in one of my rooms watching my TV, burning my electricity up, eating my food. No way. Every time I turn around, you're always in the kitchen. You know what I mean? All right, the great. Let me see what you wrote. You said, discipline indeed it is. That was the best shape of my life. Boxing gets you in the best shape of your life. Absolutely. Chris Sanchez says, what the marriage age according to the scriptures? It doesn't say. And I'm not going to add, and I'm not going to remove. You understand? The scriptures also teaches common sense and judge righteously. You understand? The scriptures teaches judge righteously, and also states obey the laws of the land. You understand? Now, if I wanted to break that down, I could, but I'm a humble brother, and I know I'm not a teacher or preacher. You understand that? You got to think for yourself on that. Righteous judgment and obey the laws of the land. If in North Carolina says, listen, but a lot of these states is wicked anyway, because they will say, in order to have consensual, relations with a person, 16 with the parental consent. Now, there's a difference between what the law says and judging righteously. What grown man would have any interest in a young girl 16? You got to think. You understand? So there's no specific age, but you got to be intelligent to the scriptures. Because if you're a grown man, 35, and you're looking at a 15-year-old, then you's a sick fella. That's a child right there. You understand? I know some Hebrew Israelites or some people in different cultures, you know what I mean? They believe when a young girl gets her, once a month, it's okay to, What? Sometimes little girls could get that stuff at the age of 9 or 10. And there's some nasty, filthy guys out here too. To even be having that thought on their mind. So I wouldn't even ask a question like that. Because it kind of sends off an alert of some type of residue of a pedo. Now, I'm not going to ask that. What's the age I can marry a woman according to the scriptures? That's an unsafe question. You got to think about that, brother. That's unsafe right there. Listen, my thing is this woman 30 years old or older? How about that? A grown woman. How about those apples? I'm not asking that question, man. No way. Because if a so-called preacher say, all right, the Bible says 15, you got some dumb people out there that'll believe it. You know what I mean? Now, if you're talking about like two 17-year-olds, that want to get married. And granted that people in the past have gotten married 117, 116, 116, 115. Now, if you're talking about that, that's very different from a 35-year-old or 21-year-old grown man looking at a little child. Because some people in the past, they have gotten married 17, 17, 16, 16, and they've been married for 60, 70 years. I don't know about in these days that folks could really go through with that. You know what I mean? But honestly, man, I would not ask that question. I wouldn't ask that question. You hear me? Because that's kind of like a pedophile type of question. You got to be careful in certain questions. That kind of like, that's kind of, You know what I mean? Listen, if you're 40 or 35, listen, the range, listen, I like my women 35 and up. Listen, I prefer, I look at a 70-year-old woman. Didn't even have a filthy thought of a 15-year-old girl. You know what I mean? Listen, Angela Bassett, whew, what's love got to do with it? You hear me? But I ain't looking at no 15-year-old. When I was young, I didn't really even like my age group. When I was that age, I didn't really like it too much. Like, young chicks when I was young. Although you still could, find interest in somebody around that age. But for the most part, So I don't understand why these wicked men, we put out these news videos about these so-called preachers when they, touch on these little kids and whatnot. You know what I mean? Delroy says, I wish there was a First Church in Newark, New Jersey or Irvington. I'm tired of staying home. There's one in New Brunswick. New Brunswick. What is that, like exit 9 off the turnpike? One in New Brunswick. Philly is an hour and a half. But I agree, I think Newark needs the truth of God. Yes. Yes. All right. Fleming says, in life, they scheduled a time to meet up and did a no-show, no-call email to say something came up. Yes. I mean, things can happen. But it has happened before. I mean, even I did certain things like that. Sometimes I'd be extremely tired and sleepy. And, reschedule. I've done no-shows at job interviews. I did that before a lot. Sometimes because I'll have a job like, man, I don't feel like going there, man. I'll be all right. So sometimes, I used to do stuff like that, All right. Shelly Mars says, I know you do for your children, but do you still have to pay child support? Well, I don't recall talking much about child support. But in general, whether a man is on child support from the courts or not, he still has to pay for it. He still has to pay for support for his children, and whatnot. So me, I don't classify, with any fella out there, if you paying child support from the courts, I classify that and non-court as child support. So either way, whether it's court order or not, you still gotta pay support for the children out there. You know what I mean? So as a man with 5 kids, kids are expensive. You know, but thank the Lord that he has blessed me with, you know, a job and whatnot, you know what I mean, to handle certain situations. Of course, more would be helpful, but that's on the man to look for better. You understand? If he know he has kids, he got certain expenses, kids' expenses could go up, like a lot of things is going up in these days now. You understand? But, you know, for the fellas out there, take care of your kids. You understand? Whether a woman put you on child support or not, it don't matter. It don't matter. You're still going to have to pay for them kids. What difference does it make? You understand? Pay for them kids. Like Gino says. You're going to have to pay for them. You know, you got to follow, what is that? 1 Timothy 5 and 8. You know what I mean? You'll be considered worse than an infidel if you don't even give the effort. You understand? To take care of your kids. You know? Prodigal son says, are you close to your pops? We all right. It's all right. Jose says, greetings. My question, is there a first church in Puerto Rico? If so, where? You got to go to truthofgod.com and click on locations to check out international branches. What's up to George Richardson? Shout out to you. L. Chris says, keep on trucking because when you stop swimming, you sink. Okay. What's up to Paris? What's up to Jay Williams? Shout out to you. What's up to Christopher Span? What up? Shout out to you. Shelly Moss, she says, can a female have a male roommate just as a friend? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wow, that's a pretty interesting question. Like Gino said, can a man take fire in his bosom and not be burned? You understand? Now, a female and a male, they roommates, they can go clean for a little while. You understand? Next thing you know, it's they watching a movie together. You understand? He says they have to be very unattractive. Oh, man. You said they have to be very unattractive. Well, if you're living with a person, I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it. You understand? Because if a person is striving for the Lord and whatnot, and they just got a friend, you understand? Because that friend might, what happens if that friend want to bring somebody in your house or sneaking a person in your house? You understand? Now you got to deal with other spirits. And I mean, for me personally, I wouldn't recommend, you know, that. You hear me? Now, what if a friend, their house burnt down, XYZ, they got no place to go? That's hard right there. That's tough, honestly. That is a tough situation. You know, but if that's the case, then I would allow, if I was in that situation, you know, I would allow that if I ain't had no kids or nothing like that. Let's just say I had no kids, nothing. I would allow the female friend to come here. I would go to my mother's house or something like that. You understand? If I had no kids, no nothing. You know, of course, I would have my cameras on XYZ, lay down the rules, stay for a couple of days, you know, and then you go to, you know, what is that, the Red Cross or the them shelters and stuff like that that they give to people. After that, you got to go. But I wouldn't stay. I would leave and go to a family member house. You know, if it's a tough situation like that. But I don't have any, you know, close friends like that, as far as like, you know, where those situations like that can happen. And I say, listen, you can come. And even so, I still would be skeptical. If I'm speaking in the sense of if I had no kids. Because if it happened now, although I don't have no friends like that. But let's just say I did. No, it would be a no. You understand? No. You know what I mean? Because I got kids that come here and I don't trust nobody around my kids at all. But even that, I wouldn't recommend it at all. You know what I mean? I wouldn't recommend it at all. You know, unless, let's just say, although some people rent rooms out, if you know how to do it, as far as like some people rent their basement out or their attic out, or they rent a room out and they put certain stipulations in their house, they lock certain doors, or whatever the case may be. Somebody might rent out one side of the house. Listen, you got your own room, your own bathroom, small kitchen. You got all this stuff over here. Don't come in this section at all. It's almost like, you know, a little small apartment, but they call it a room, whatever the case may be. If it's something like that, where as though, you know, y'all not walking past each other or around each other all day, and you're in holiness, I would recommend to speak to a Truth of God minister about that one. You know what I mean? All right, but renting a part of your house out, if you're renting it out and you're not around each other, you got the attic or the basement. Could be as like a tenant landlord type of thing. Jose says, how do I go to audio distributor for First Church services? Truthofgod.com. Truthofgod.com. You can go to. You know? Fleming says, when you meet new people who want to be friends, do you test that person or the friendship? Well, I'm very strict when it comes to that. Very, very strict. It may take 5 years. You understand? 5 years. Now, my left-hand guy, I think it took about a couple of years. We was working together and whatnot. Although he was a gang member, but he was cool. You understand? And he's some trust there and what have you, and things like that. But as far as like now, I'm very, very strict. Very. I don't got nobody coming here hanging out, we watching the game. Nah. You understand? Like Gino said, listen, you gotta be very careful. Very, very careful. And you know what? I agree with him about that. You know, letting people in your circle. You know? So you also stated that, do you test them? Somewhat. You know, check out their social media, see how they moving, talking. You know what I mean? Making sure they ain't talking about people behind their back. You understand? Because I don't like that. If you can't say it to a person's face, don't tell me. I don't gossip. You understand? I don't do that. And people who talk to me on Facebook or through the text message, they know I don't gossip all day. I don't do that. I don't talk on the phone much. I don't do that. That always that always been me. We can text a little here, a little there. That's it. You understand? I ain't on the phone all day. I don't do that. You know what I mean? So I'm very, very strict. I don't mind being cool with people and building, whatever the case may be, but it's gonna take a while. All right? All right, what's up, Latanya Renee? Shout out to you. All right. The great says, Shelly, if you want to be on the safe side, check the bylaws, but I know it is not specifically anywhere in the scriptures. For sure. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend a male bringing a female friend, vice versa, because there's a strong chance something's going to happen. Strong chance. You know? I don't care if that person is unattractive, whatever. Because when the lights go off, none of that matters. You hear me? You ain't thinking about that when the lights go off. You know, so you gotta be careful with that one. He said, what's your biggest irksome when it comes to them trolls? I don't get irked out or irksome. Social media don't bother me. No trolls bother me at all. None. I mean, I don't go off YouTube. Ah, man, such and such bother me. I'm so aggravated. Never. And never will. You understand? So one has to know how to be professional and have bulletproof emotions. Just social media. These folks ain't around you 24/7. You gotta understand it could be a person in Russia in the closet with a fake name. Listen, you ugly, you dork, you big-head geek, you monkey, XYZ. Could be a little 14-year-old in the closet laughing, ha 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 ha. And a person getting mad over social media? You know what I mean? It could be a person somewhere on the island, somewhere, in a hut, named Kid the Cat. Could be a 10-year-old kid who know how to do all that stuff with technology, but make it seem like they're a grown person. Such and such, you big nose, black, ugly, messed up teeth, you need a dentist, you look like you've been chewing on bricks. You know? You don't know. What's the point of getting upset? What's the point? You know? So I don't pay them no mind. That's why it don't bother me. You know, that's why I said yesterday, yo, stop. I'm trying not to mention these fellas' names or have their names mentioned, because they're going to think it's all about them. Like you're thinking about them all day. You know? I see you laughing, Flemings. I see you laughing. You know? So, folks, if you mention folks' names on here, they tuning in. This ain't a YouTube channel where folks think, wow, they talking about me. So I don't want to mention their names unless you're like Elder Campbell, who can have an intellectual conversation. Captain Desario, who comes on, once a week. One thing about Cap, he don't come on here trolling. You understand? He don't. Give him that. You know what I mean? He's out there, he's doing his thing on his podcast, TV channel, he's doing his thing. These fellas are not. At least do your thing on YouTube. At least have some content like Christopher Wright was saying yesterday. You know, so none of them don't bother me. They think it's about them when you mention it. Once you mention a troll name, they think it's all about them. It's really not. You understand? You know, so they gotta understand a lot of those videos. It's just one part of the channel. That's it. The discussion is one part of the channel. There's other videos that we put out. You know. He said he does call Jeremy and I Edomites. Well, I would say that's true. I'm talking about like every day. That's what I'm talking about. The same people on every day in the comment section, on other YouTube channels, following folks, trolling them. That's what I'm mainly talking about and whatnot. You know? He said, "Be gone, Lando." What's up, the Key? Shout out to you. Fleming says, if a person who only likes me for what I've achieved has next, you said some folks just want to be in your life for what you can give them. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. What's up, the Key? You said that's facts. I have a 17-year-old niece. She's still my baby in my eyes. I'm grateful to help raise her in the way she should go. Wonderful. Shalimar said, should an older woman marry someone 10 years younger? Uh-oh. Order in the court. Well, I think one should use righteous judgment. As the scripture says, judge righteously. Now, if a woman is 40 years of age and a man is 30, versus a man being 20 and she's 30, or if a woman is 50 and he's 40, you understand? And would it be wise for a woman who's 25 to be interested in a 15-year-old? Or a 28-year-old woman interested in an 18-year-old? You know what I mean? I would say it depends on a man's maturity and mentality. You understand? For example, he's 28, she's 38. He's in the Lord, he's mature. You know, he know how to respect a woman. He know how to treat her. Then he may be a good candidate for that woman. And she has to be mature too. Because there's a lot of cougars out here who's preying, P-R-E-Y, on young men. Why? Because they want some type of thrill out of that from a young fella that they can't get out of a old, grumpy, keg belly, 55-year-old man. You understand? But everybody has different preferences and whatnot. You know? What's up, the G Swole? How is a marriage lasting without God involved? That's a good question. I think somebody mentioned that marriages who folks is not striving for the Lord are lasting longer than folks in the church. You understand? They may have the right principles down in a marriage. People could be righteous but not holy. It's a difference. So you got a lot of people who may be in marriages, they may be righteous and uphold the principles of how to keep a marriage together, right? But they might be striving for the Lord. You understand? But a lot of people out here who claim to be holy and sanctified in the church, they have a problem with the principles of marriage. So they may have the holy part down of striving, but have a hard time with, you know, the righteous part and following the principles of how to keep a marriage together. You hear me? Because I see a lot of people out here who are not striving for the Lord. I'm like, they have a good marriage. You know what I mean? Why a lot of us church people, we fumble the ball with marriage. You understand? All right, what's up to Mr. Dunbar? Shout out to you. The Great says, you say you love Angela Bassett and Tracy Ellis Ross. What's up to N. Maxwell? Jonas says, I'm 29, so I would want a woman to be around my age, though at least a few years younger. Could be a 40-year-old, who knows? What's up to G Money? He says, people these days can have a marriage that stands the test of time if they don't allow money to dictate the marriage. Back in the day, they stayed together for 50 plus years because they did it for love. Wonderful. The Great says, same way a healthier, what is that? A heathen can marry without God and die happy. You mean a heathen? Key says, Lord willing, if I am to be wedded, I ask the Lord to please let his age range be around, I guess you mean between, 35 and 45 years of maturity. Wonderful. What's up to them two, son? Would somebody asked me that the other day. It says, would you consider starting your own trucking or transportation company? I've thought about it. You know what I mean? It's been a thought. It's been a thought. If it be the Lord's will. Fleming says, what's your definition of success in life? Getting right with Christ. Getting right with Christ. You know what I mean? Keeping that on your mind, keeping that on your heart. To try to strive your best to get right with Christ. You know what I mean? Other stuff as far as like career-wise, education-wise, job-wise, taking care of your family. You know, you want to be successful in that and being a good parent if you got kids. You know, you want to be the example and not be a lazy bum. Show the people out here that you can be successful, whether it's with education or your career. Of course, number one, striving for Christ. You know? What's up, the Digital Masterpiece? You says, what do you think about men paying child support, but the mother won't let the father see or spend time with their child? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right. Wow. Well, I'd say this. Gino always preach about first Timothy 5 and 8 about taking care of your children. Otherwise, you'll be worse than an infidel. Because I've seen that on Facebook, and, you know, I get emails and comments about that type of stuff. What is that father doing to try to see his kids? Is he gathering evidence that the mother is not allowing him to see his children? Is he documenting that type of stuff? Is he recording stuff, whether audio-wise or video-wise? Is he gonna go to a lawyer to push it forward, to let the system know? Listen, I'm paying my child support. I'm knocking on a door. I'm texting. I'm calling. I'm video chatting every day. Up to 4 or 5 times a day, I'm trying to contact her to see my children. And she ignored me. I got pictures of me at her house, ringing the door, recordings. I got all this evidence. Bring it to a lawyer. Bring it to a lawyer, and whatnot. You know what I mean? That's what I would say about that. Bring it to a lawyer. Because some women out here is very spiteful. which is sad. They got to understand that child has to grow up. You know what I mean? Some situations where as though the man don't want to be with the woman or the man done cheated, you know, just because the man cheated, and I'm not justifying cheating, right? And he's a good father, it don't take away from him being a good father. Just because you're upset that he did what he did, you shouldn't keep the child away from the man because you're upset that he cheated. That has nothing to do with the kids. That's between you and him. Y'all relationship. That's not part of the parenting part. If he's holding down a fort and taking care of the child, spending quality time. Now, a female might be upset. You might want to slash his tires. You might want to slap him. Bleach his clothes. You hear me? You know? But I don't recommend keeping the children away from the father if he's a good father. If he's a good father. Now, if he's like doing drugs, if he's abusive, now I get it. For things like that, I get it. You know? But if it's like a simple breakup, he's flirting with another girl, you know, cheating, not coming in, well, they shouldn't be living together, number one, right? If you're talking about marriage, you know what I mean? Because I'm trying to be safe here. I'm trying to be real, real safe. You know, because we got some sanctified people on here. You know what I mean? In the moment you say, if he coming in the house late, and you talking about boyfriend and girlfriend, then you justifying shacking up. I know we got some sanctified people on here. Now we gotta be careful. You know? But that's messed up for a woman to keep the kids away from the father just because she's upset about something so light. You know? Although, listen, some people shack up in holiness, know it's wrong, and whatnot. You know? A lot of us are hard-headed. You hear me? All right? What's up to Sister David? Shout out to you. He says, I know you maintain a nice titty day, so how do you keep it clean when the kids are there? Do you have them in a certain room they play in their space? Well, when you keep your house clean, when you keep things in order, I mean, you know, kids run around. You know, sometimes they run around when I'm on a live. You don't know unless you hear them really loud, but I don't mind. I don't mind. You know what? If things are messed up and stuff like that, it'd be little stuff. It'd be little stuff, whereas though you don't have much to clean. You don't have much to put up. So if a person keep their house in order, like to the T on a day-to-day basis, sometimes it gets junky. As far as like, you know, you gotta, you know, put your clothes in a bag to get them washed and stuff like that. Or you want to touch up the house or the place. Little stuff I have to deal with. I don't have to deal with like major things at all. But, you know, they got their own room. A lot of times, my daughter's with me. You understand? But, you know, they free to run around, you know, unless I'm on a live. They have to sit down and, you know, be as quiet as possible, in general. But anything else after that, I mean, hey, it's fine. You know, but for the most part, they sitting down, they eating some potato chips, nice lunch, breakfast, dinner, snack, whatever. You know what I mean? We keep it nice and cozy in here for the kiddies, and whatnot. Very chilled. My place is a place of relaxation. You know, when they get here, it's like just comfort. You know, I set the mood for them so they could just relax. You know? All right? Um, G Money says, talk back. Kudos to you for taking care of all of your children with unconditional love that every child um, get and deserves. Remember, they didn't ask to come here. Wonderful. Appreciate that. Flemings, you wrote, what core values guide your actions and decisions? Core values. Let me fix this up right quick. Core values. You know? Life. Life. What's best? What's best for, my life, the kids' life, the spiritual life, and whatnot. I gotta resort back to the scriptures, and whatnot. The core values in there that I have to follow. I try to follow it. It's tough. We mess up. But each day, we try to get a little bit better. And what have you. You understand? Like, let's just say somebody cut you off in traffic. Before I would, do certain gestures, not profanity. But now it's like, all right, whatever. Because you want to follow the scriptures. Lord, I forgive them, no matter what. I got to keep it moving. Stuff like that. What's up to Lady Glitter? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. With Lady Glitter. All right. Where we at? It says, and what is that? I don't know how to pronounce that word that Mr. Span kind of tongue twisted right there. All right. Bear with me right quick. G. Swole says, so true about roommates inviting people over when I'm experiencing that with my roommate having girls over. One of them with a daughter catching her sleeping on the couch while her mom is with him. Wow. Dunbar said, don't underestimate the devil. He can make that woman look pretty even if she's ugly when them jumping beans are jumping. Oh, man, this is funny. What's up to Jacqueline? Shout out to you. Jose says, you baseball, basketball, football. I don't watch it too much anymore. But I used to watch football and basketball. All right. Mr. Dunbar says, who you got as the best ever, Michael Jordan or LeBron? Well, it's different eras. Different eras. But overall, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan. I'd say Mike. What's up to Virginia? What's up to Cash Leah? Shout out to you. What's up to Lawrence? He says, I want to get baptized in First Church. Truthforgod.com to set that up. You live in Upper Darby. I guess that's Pennsylvania, right? What's up to Sucha? How much water do you drink a day? How much water? Well, I try to drink at least four bottles. These are 16.9 fluid ounces. So I try to drink 4 bottles a day. I try. You know what I mean? All right. We're just scrolling down. What's up to One Faith? Virginia says, a lot of people get married for the wrong reasons. G Money says, I think it's okay to marry with a 10-year gap. The male brain comes to fully maturity around the age of 30. So as long as a man or woman reach mental maturity, then it's okay. You says age is just a number. Well, what's up, the Drago? Shout out to you. Dunbar says because a lot of church people don't have the word in them. They just hang around it. What's up to Tyrone? Shout out to you. God bless you too. What's up to David B? What's up to Known Unknown? Appreciate that at Virginia. Henry Ross says lawyers are expensive. Could be true. But if a man is trying to get his kids to see his kids on his own, and then the judge rejects it, the next step is to get a lawyer. You understand? I've had lawyers, but not for that. But it's monthly plans you could pay for a lawyer. Some lawyers are not that expensive. You know what I mean? If you got everything lined up with your evidence, and what have you, listen, you good. You're good in that situation. You know? So not all lawyers are expensive. It depends how much time do you need them for. But if you have all the evidence and stuff like that, I wouldn't say it's too expensive. If you're just looking to go to court that at one time to prove that you want to see, you was trying to see your children and the woman wouldn't let you. All right? Keith says, sad when children have to get caught in between stuff like that. Absolutely. This man said, that sounds like Ghost and Tasha situation from the show Power. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I listen, I don't watch that wicked show. Never was into that. Listen, shows in these days ain't like the shows from the past. Shows from the past like Family Matters, although they had Urkel dressed up as a girl. You know, Full House. You understand? What is that? With Al Bundy? You know what I mean? Power is something more wicked. That's a wicked show. There was little wickedness in Family Matters. Little bit. You know what I mean? Even Steve Urkel, he speaks about those times. I don't think his father agreed with it at the time. Or they felt some type of way that they wanted him to wear, dress up as a girl. Now he realized that he shouldn't have done it. Understandable. But shows in these days ain't like the shows from the past, man. You know what I mean? You turn on Power and you got two men knocking boots. Two men knocking boots. You understand? I can't sit there at a TV show watching two men knock boots. You know? How I know? Because, like I said yesterday, the other day, somebody had the show on, and once I turned to the television, two men was kissing. I said, what is this? Is this the show that folks is talking about with Tasha and Power and Tariq and 50 Cent? A big rich town? Really? I said, oh no, Now, if you're watching like Law and Order, what they got? Blue Bloods or something like that. It's hard to find a safe show to watch. It's hard. I'm talking about a safe show. You know what I mean? Listen, Family Feud ain't the same in these days. You can't watch Family Feud no more without them having questions about the Skittles. Can't watch it no more. You know what I mean? Jeopardy is okay to watch, I'd say. I don't watch that stuff. It's too, I don't know. That's kind of, It's an alright show. But Family Feud, ain't the same no more. Ain't the same no more. You know? A lot of us watch Wheel of Fortune. You know what I mean? Where we at? They scrolled me all the way to the bottom, and whatnot. Once again, those who's texting my phone while I'm on a live, how can I respond to your text message and I'm using my phone? How is that? You know, because you got folks, when I'm on here, they texting and calling, and they know I'm on a live, and they in the chat room. Listen, I cannot answer the text message. They want me to sign off, answer them, lose the video, and come back on. Stop it. Now, if you don't know that, you know, because sometimes, you know, my son be on here. He be on here laughing, giggling. Shout out to him. I ain't gonna say who he is. But I can't answer the text message when I'm on the phone. You know? Can't do that. Sometimes he be on here. My sister. I ain't gonna say who it is. I ain't gonna tell you who my family members are. You know? But listen, I can't answer the text message when I'm on here. He said it's probably PJ calling a text. Oh man, that's hilarious. You know, because some people not YouTube savvy. You know, so to all the family members out there, if you're texting, if you're calling, I can't respond to you because I'm using my phone. You know what I mean? So y'all can hit me up on Facebook. To all the family members out there, you know, if you tuning in. All right? Facebook me. All right, let me see. Henry Ross says, could there be righteous people within Christianity faith? So Henry Ross, you ask, could there be righteous people within Christianity faith? You can have sincere people who don't know any better. They haven't been exposed to the truth. You know, because there was a lot of righteous people and those type of organizations that came out of it and came to the truth of God. They didn't know better. Some people don't know better. Some people don't know Christianity is not in the scriptures or know about that Constantine had something to do with that. They don't know. So I can't fault them at all. They may have a sincere heart and may want to grow and know the truth and whatnot. We got a couple more minutes. We got a couple more minutes on here, then we're going to knock off. You know, we got work in the morning. We got work in the morning and whatnot. This is a good conversation. You know, maybe I have more of these in due time and whatnot. All right. Between sleep hygiene or connecting with your loved, which one? What do you mean, loved? At Fleming's, you put with your loved. Which one is more healthier habit to build? You meant loved ones? All right. Indoor, you says the math ain't mathing like Tony. You see my text while we on live. I'm mainly referring to family members. But shout out to them. Sister David says, is there one job that you feel you just wouldn't do or work now? For example, telemarketer, fast food, customer service, shoe salesman. None of them. You know? I tried telemarketer at the age of, I think I was 18. I lasted one day and didn't come back. Fast food, did McDonald's at the age of 16 and 17. It was all right. Customer service. As far as like, office work, no. Shoe salesman, no. I'm only interested in like truck driving, law enforcement, security work, maybe owning a trucking company, or maybe operating like a train or a light rail. What else is out there that I was interested in? Let me think. Personal training. Stuff that I already do that I find interest in. Customer service sitting in the office? No. No. Shoe salesman. You said shoe salesman. Wow. That's funny. We just scrolling up right quick. Forgive me if I may have missed your comments. We got about 5 minutes left. 5 minutes. 5-10 minutes left. Before we knock off and whatnot. Fleming says, do you believe the saying devil finds work for idle hands? Should we be busy as Christians? I don't mean busy in people's business. Well, I believe the devil tries to influence people 24/7. You know what I mean? But I do believe if you're just not doing anything, it could be a more heavier influence. You understand? Because a person's not feeding their mind with positivity or things of holiness and whatnot. You know what I mean? Some people sit around the house be like, oh, I'm bored. There's a lot of things for you to do. You could be listening to the truth. You could be doing something positive. You understand? While people sitting around doing nothing, it could be a more heavier burden for the enemy to play with your mind. You know what I mean? I'd say. My opinion. All right. G Swole says, how do you a man, I guess you mean how should a man, I'm just gonna say that, treat a child made by his brother knowing the child isn't his by seeing no resemblance of him and that child, but he refuses to take a DNA test thinking it's his? Huh? You said, how should a man treat a child made by his brother knowing the child isn't his by seeing no resemblance of him in that child? Basically saying if a woman has a child on you and you feel it's not yours, how should you treat it? How should a man treat a child if he thinks the child is not his? Still love the child. Still love the child. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Child has nothing to do with it. You understand? If the woman goes out and she was promiscuous and whatnot, and the man don't think that is his child, the child has nothing to do with it. Yet the man is upset. You understand? The man should want to be righteous and follow what the Lord says and whatnot. What you gonna do? Man, that ain't my child. I ain't buying that kid nothing. Treat the child with love and whatnot. Treat it like it's your own. You understand? Until the DNA test comes and stuff like that. Hey, even if the child is found out not to be yours, and she don't know who the baby father is, tough pill to swallow. Of course, if they're married, I think Gino, he had a video about how a woman had about 3 kids on a husband with a different man, and they was together in a marriage. Whew, that's tough. That's tough. For better or for worse. You understand? Through thick and thin. Wow. She done had three or 4 kids on him. That hurts. That hurts me thinking about it. You know what I mean? Still love the kids. Because you don't want to have hatred in the child, because you're going to be accountable for that. You're going to be accountable for that hatred for that person. If you're striving for the Lord. You know what I mean? Now you can separate from her, or if y'all, in a relationship, if you decide to leave her, you don't want to be with her. If y'all just in a relationship, then hey, but there's some men out there, very few, who still take the child and treat them as they are theirs, biologically. And we see the show Maury and whatnot, silly women up there. I know you the father. I know this child is yours. Then they get the DNA test. You know how Maury go. In the case of such and such, Jamal, you are not the father. And the silly woman just go running all around like an idiot. You understand? It's the same situation. Run to the back crying. You fool. You shouldn't have went up there. You should have just did it off the show. You know what I mean? You said that show was so embarrassing. You should have did it off the show. And she crying, I didn't sleep with nobody. Well, the DNA test is 99.9% right. You liar. You understand? Now, it could be situations where as though the woman may have slept with somebody, a little time before she met the man and things of that nature. Not that she cheated on him, but people out there got to be careful. You understand? How to get somebody caught up in that type of thing. So if she slept with somebody a few days before you meet the new guy, you have to explain that to him. There's a possibility that I can get pregnant because she has slept with. She should tell the man that before if you meet the man, if you're interested in him, let him know. Listen, you understand? Because if they slip up and do something later on, and then, you know, by her getting pregnant by the man that she slept with a few days before she met the new guy, then the new guy gonna think that the baby is his. You know? You said you believe you believe that TV show was staged? Nah, it wasn't. It wasn't staged because one of my aunts knew a female from that show, and it was a real situation. You understand? So nah, Maury wasn't staged. You know what I mean? According to one of my aunts, she knew a woman on there. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm going by. You know? Oh, you got some women out there. There was a time where, as though, this woman slept with 2 men in one night or one day. Had twins, and it was 2 different fathers. Wow. Wow. Unreal. Unreal. You hear me? There was a father. There was a father. One was a father of one child, and the other father was of the other one. Twins. There was shows like that. You said made her uterus into a thought. Yeah, that's some wild stuff right there. That's some wild stuff. All right. If you got any closing remarks, let me know. We gotta go. We gotta go. It was a good conversation and whatnot. We thought we was having an interview with John Phoenix. It's gonna be tomorrow, 4:30 on his channel. He was having some issues today, and hopefully we can have another conversation like this. You know what I mean? He said, please don't remind me it was another level of sin, that show. David B says, Jerry Springer was disgusting. You got that right. All right, if I didn't get to your question, hopefully next time, you know, you can save the question or remember it. Lord willing, I have more time the next time around. This was kind of like random, you know? He said, come through later, we slapping folks with the Bible. Lord willing, when I get situated, I get comfortable and get my stuff ready for tomorrow for work. You know, I kick back, maybe I'll check it out. You know what I mean? Like I said, sometimes I come in there, I don't say nothing, and I listen. You know what I mean? All right, so God bless to everybody out there. I'm Tony Harvin. I'm signing off. Hope everybody have a wonderful night. Lord willing, we have more videos and things of that nature tomorrow. I'm out. Peace.